Hey, KBLX Nation and my AARP California family. It's Nikki Thomas. And yes, honey, we are back with another edition of Your Vote, Your Voice, Our Fight. And as you can see, we've got a super special guest today, the one and only Pete Escovedo. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Nikki.
It's like I could just say, hey, multi-talent. And, community member in the Bay Area. We could sit here for quite a few minutes going down the list of all the things that you are to us. We appreciate you checking in with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And, I've been living in LA for a while, but I sure miss the Bay Area. Every chance I get, I go back and, visit family and friends. So it's working out okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just to let y'all know, the Escovedos adopted me a long time ago. So when I say this is family, it really, really is family to me, just, because I love you guys so much. Just great energy and great community.
Well, we love you too. And I told you to change your name to Nikki Escovedo.
I didn't write it in here. That's what happened this time. My fingers had that muscle memory, but I'm going to write it. I'm just going to put Nikki E next time. That's what I'll do.
All right.
Okay. So big election right around the corner. Like the days are counting down now.
Yeah.
And from what we understand, there are lots of people who are showing up like never before, but there are some people who are on the fence who are saying, I'm not quite sure if my vote will make a difference or an impact. What do you have to say on that piece today?
Well, that has been a problem over the years, especially with our younger generation, that they think that their vote doesn't count, but actually their vote does count. And we need these votes this year. This is a very important election this year. And it's so important. I voted early. I did my mail-in, me and my wife, and we voted early, and every vote counts. So every vote is so important. And I urge you, all of the Bay Area, all of our friends and fans and people that know of us, and regardless if you don't know of us, just to get out there and vote.
Exactly. Very, very well said. We checked in with Danny Glover a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, Danny, yeah.
Amazing. And what he put two words together that summed up everything. He said active citizenship. So let's talk about community for a second, because when we vote, it's not just a presidential election that's happening. There's a whole lot of things that we need to, be aware of. Talk about voting and community. What's the impact there?
Well, I mean, if you want change, this is the only way we're going to have change. And your vote is so important in so many different ways. And I'm glad that Danny said that. I miss him. I haven't seen him in a while, but we go back a lot of years too. And, just encouraging everybody. I know the older generation, myself and Danny, the ones that are in our age bracket, we take this very, very seriously. And I know that the young people, although they have been protesting and, Black Lives Matter and all of that, and it's very important, of course, but the only way to change things, not only, the marching and the protesting, but the most important thing, I believe, is to cast your vote, because that's the only way things are going to get changed.
Thank you so much, Pete Escovedo, the one and only Pops. That's what we call him.
I'm still Pops. Yes, amen.
Absolutely. And thank you for your wonderful energy today, Nikki Thomas. Your vote, your voice, our fight, AARP California. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you, Nikki. God bless.
Oh, I'm here. KBLX Nation, I am here. I look a little fuzzy today, but I think it's all good. I'm just going to go for what I know. I see the KBLX Nation is in the building. I see Jonna. Okay, Pops in the building. D Minor is here. We appreciate you, KBLX Nation. And thanks to everyone who came through Saturday for the Women of KBLX Virtual Empowerment Forum. We had such a wonderful time. But today we have got work to do, honey, work to do. Now, you did see that I mentioned big election coming up in just a few days. All right, serious countdown here. And of course, AARP California is making sure that we have all the information that we need. Your vote, your voice, our fight, presented by AARP California, the nation's largest nonprofit, nonpartisan organization dedicated to empowering people ages 50 plus to choose how they live as they age. AARP strengthens communities and advocates for what matters most to families. And this year, it's a very important year, AARP is fighting to make sure your voice is heard in the 2020 elections. So we have a very special guest today. All right. For an important discussion on voting in the 2020 election, AARP California volunteer Jose Posadas. How are you today, sir?
Hello, Nikki. Thank you for having me. It's quite an honor to follow the legendary Pete Escovedo.
I know, right? I feel a little special today, like I have some magic dust on me or something. So, when legends are coming together like this to encourage us to vote, it must be pretty important. Yeah. And I know you must be very busy right now. You're like feet on the ground busy at this point, right?
We are only a few more days away from November 3rd, and 2020 is unlike any other year, obviously, for many reasons. The pandemic, the economic hardship, and I'm here to really just say to folks that, as Pete said, your vote is critically important this year. We want to make sure that everybody votes early, votes safely, and AARP California wants you to know your options for voting and voting safely.
Absolutely. So everybody who's watching right now, please do make sure that you vote if you haven't already, because I know a lot of people have just gotten it done early. So, Jose, we know California voters have already received their ballots in the mail. What important information do people need to know about voting by mail? Because I know this is different for a lot of us.
Yes, in a few counties, we actually did vote by mail back in the March primary, but it is statewide this time for the November election. So those started being sent out October 5th. If you, for whatever reason, haven't received your vote by mail ballot, contact your county registrar of voters office. You could also contact the California Secretary of State voter hotline at 1-800-345-8683 or vote. That's the last four digits. Many people have already voted, as you had alluded to, and I think we're going to have a big record number of turnout of voters. People definitely can also bring their own black or blue pens if they want to vote in person. And if you do give your envelope to somebody, a family member, a friend, make sure that they also sign at the top of the envelope. That's critically important, in addition to your own signature, which is the thing that is most important to make sure that your ballot is counted.
Okay. So we have to return our voted ballot by...
The best thing to do is mail it as quickly as you can. That is one option, by putting it back in the United States Postal Service delivery. The other option would be to go into one of the polling places that are going to be opening up in your county. You can return that in person. And it's very important that if you do put it in the mail service, that it is postmarked by 8 p.m. on Tuesday, November 3rd. Also, if you go in person, make sure you go there on Tuesday, November 3rd, between the hours of 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. 8 p.m. is the cutoff time, so make sure that you are standing in line by 8 o'clock on Tuesday if you waited that long to do it. The other option is to take it to the nearest drop box. Make sure that it is an official California County Registrar of Voters drop box. That way that we can ensure that we receive your ballot. And again, as I said, if you do give it to somebody else, make sure they sign it. And if for whatever reason your signature does not match, because our signatures probably have changed over the years. Mine probably doesn't look the same as when I first registered to vote 20 years ago.
Right.
And if that is the case, what the county registrar officials will do is they will contact you to make sure that this is indeed your ballot that you have submitted. And if you need to correct it, we'll make efforts to make that correction for you. And the other thing that's actually new to this election is normally you would have 3 days for your ballot to be delivered to us after November 3rd, but this November, there's 17 days. So we actually have until November the 20th to receive your mail-in ballot.
Awesomeness. So now many people are hesitant about voting by mail because, like, for me, this is new for me. I've never voted by mail. I'm like, wait, what is this? Do you have any advice for those who are unsure if they want to vote by mail or not?
Yes, we actually have a new system that we can offer to the voters. It's a way to track your ballot from the beginning to the end, and you can get that information on the site called where'smyballot.sos.ca.gov. And I just did that myself recently. I got an automatic text and an email telling me when it was mailed out and when it was received at my county registrar. So that's an extra added layer of security that can really give confidence to the voter that their ballots are secure and safe. But if you suspect any fraud, because that might be a possibility, and you feel that your voting rights are being denied, contact the California Secretary of State hotline. Again, the number is 800-345-8683.
This is some great information, Jose. Thank you again for being with us. Okay, so for those who have decided to vote in person, what important information should they know?
The best thing that they can walk away from today is that the polls are going to be open till November the 3rd, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. We really are encouraging in every county across the state for people to vote early. There really is no reason to wait till 5 o'clock on November 3rd. If you have your ballot, fill it out, do it from home, return it. You can also go to one of the early vote centers that are going to be opening up. Some have already started to prepare. I know here in our county of Santa Clara, we're going to open on October 31st, which is just this coming Saturday.
That's right.
And you can get the list of all your vote centers, all your drop boxes, from your voter information guide that was mailed out to you by your county registrar of voters, as well as by going to their website, and it'll include the listing of those selections. There should be hopefully quite enough for everybody to find out where they are and which is the closest one to them.
Okay, so here's a good one right here, Jose. Folks planning to cast their ballot in person, what can they expect at polling places as we cast our ballots in the middle of a health pandemic? This part is absolutely new. Are health precautions being taken?
Absolutely. We've been training over 2,000 helpers that are going to be at these polling stations or vote centers, trained them on a lot of safety protocols. And this is at the direction of the state of California, following the guidelines from the California public health officials. And basically, we're going to provide both the workers as well as the public with personal protective equipment. So if somebody arrives there, they do not have a face mask, we will provide one for them. If they would like gloves, we will provide those gloves to them. Our staff that's going to be working at these polling places are going to be sanitizing the equipment after every use. So we're going to make sure that before you touch any equipment, before you step into the voting room, that the equipment itself has been sanitized before you even walk in the door. And it'll be clean when you're done voting for the next voter that's going to be walking in. Other things that people are really probably already familiar with now is maintaining social distance. So we will have lines outside the door so that there are not too many people at any one time inside the voting space. And again, consider skipping the line itself because you can vote now. You don't have to wait till November 3rd. And like I said, voting in person, if you want to vote in person, can start by this Saturday, October 31st.
Okay, I love it. You know, I came across my ballot today because I was looking for it. And it's like, in the mail, where is mine? But I have it, and you just convinced me to go ahead and do it that way because, hey, it is a health pandemic happening right now, and who knows what other things could happen election day and how many people will be there. So I think this is great information that, you know, gives us a whole lot of assurance that, you know, there's tracking and there's all these other great things. I had no clue. So now if folks missed the registration deadline, are they still able to vote?
Absolutely. We started something 2 years ago called conditional voter registration. So basically, that means even if you missed the deadline, which was last week, you
Mhm.
can still walk into your county registrar's office or a polling place vote center and register that same day and vote that same day.
Mm.
That way, we will not turn anybody away, and you will still have the opportunity to participate in this very important election. It's called conditional voter registration. And once we verify all the information after you have submitted that information to us, then we will count your ballot and it will go towards, finding out what the results are of this election.
Mhm. Okay, this is amazing. And you can learn more by contacting your county's voter registrar's office or calling 800-345-VOTE. I want to keep putting the phone number out there for our friends who are saying, look, I don't do well with the internet, and they want to call and talk to, someone or get information on the phone. So there's all these different resources. So no excuses. This is what I'm hearing, Jose. Every time we ask something, you're saying, yes, it can
Yes.
happen. Here's the information. Here's how we're going to make it work. So there is the phone number, 800-345-VOTE. That's 800-345-8683. You can just pick up the phone. And if you're saying, hey, I'm not sure what to do, I want to vote, tell me what to do. Yeah, that's it. You can call and not know anything and not have any answers, and you'll get everything that you need when you pick up the phone. So this is amazing right here. We're speaking to Jose Posadas. He's the AARP California volunteer and Santa Clara County Registrar of Voters Election Specialist. So I see the sign behind you that says vote, if I'm not mistaken. So you're at work right this second, Jose.
Yes, we're working late. We're going to be working late probably for the next 15 days.
And let me tell you, family, when I connected with Jose before we went live, I could see he was very, very focused. Very focused. He's, polite and cordial, but all that, but very much about getting down to the business. So this makes us feel better to know that, we've got, your smiling face and, you're working to make sure that things are as secure and safe as you're telling us that they're, going to be for this election. So do you have any last comments for our viewers?
Well, you did mention contacting folks if they do have questions, and we are really here to help answer any questions, any concerns from the public regarding this very important election, making sure that their votes are processed properly, and making sure that they go out and turn out to vote. We have hundreds of employees here that are manning the call centers, thousands that are going to be working at polling centers. So we're here really to provide a service to folks in this very important election. If people have any questions, they can also go to the aarp.org/CalVotes to find out information about voting in California and details on where you can learn more as well. And we really are a resource here for our community. In addition to all the information I shared, we also have employees that speak multiple languages because we are a diverse state. So we have folks that can assist you in other languages in addition to English, provide you written material in that language. And we're really here to make your voting as comfortable, as safe, and as easy as possible. And as Pete said earlier, every vote really does matter. It's really important that everybody does turn out to vote. You can count on your fingers, on your hands, on your feet, how important it is when just a few people vote that probably would not have voted before, because some elections are determined by just a few dozen votes. So you never know. And so I repeat what you also said earlier. It's not just the federal election. It's really the local community elections that are important. Your governors, your assembly members, your mayor, city council member, your school board, because that's what really impacts your community when you vote locally, and it really affects you on a daily basis, in addition to the federal elections as well.
This is amazing. So I want to urge everyone who's watching right now. And we know that, hey, your Facebook friends, you can just share the video and spread the love and the information that way. But I want to urge everybody to look out for your family members and neighbors who might not be on the internet. The next generation might have a little difficulty with all the technical stuff, but they still want to vote. I think everybody is very galvanized right now about making sure that they get their ballots in there. And sometimes there's some folks right next door or right across the street that might need a little bit of help. And number two, there is this whole COVID situation. And Jose explained to us a little earlier how you can do that. So, look out for folks, even if it's, hey, there's a number you can call. And, hey, I'm going to come back and help you any way I can once, call and get everything straight. So, what I'm noticing right now is that since we're in this situation, this sense of community is so strong since this pandemic started. There's awful things happening, but there's also a lot of community and a lot of love. So just that reminder that, some folks might need a little extra help. And, they're willing to, step out and make sure that they get their ballot in there. But, just a little boost. Just a little push. Thank you so much, Jose. You can visit aarp.org/CA votes. All right. And we have that one there already. Here's the phone number again, 800-345-VOTE. 800-345-VOTE. 8683 are the last digits. And again, sometimes it might be you got to do it old school. Write the number down on a piece of paper and bring it to someone who might need it, or just keep it with you and say, you know what, when I run into someone who needs information or is unsure, I'll go ahead and give them this number. Okay. So I want to go through all of the information links here. Where's my ballot.sos.ca.gov. Jose explained to us that when you do the mail-in ballot, that you can follow and track it using this. Yeah, I'm just making sure that I'm saying it correctly because you gave it to us so great.
that is correct. It basically will tell you when it got sent out, when it's been received, and it really adds a level of confidence to know that your ballot is in our hands and it got to where it needed to get to.
This is so amazing. I love the technology here. All right, text vote to 468-683. What happens when we do that, Jose?
That should be a number that you can use to get assistance if you have voting questions.
Okay.
And that's provided, I believe, by Secretary of State in Sacramento. So if you need assistance, text.
Okay. All right. This is amazing. So if you want to call, if you want to text, if you want to track, if you want more information, everything is here for you, KBLX Nation. And this is so amazing. This is a whole different feeling from any election that I can remember in my lifetime. We've got special circumstances as far as the COVID-19 situation. And, people are just, getting out, voting early in huge numbers. I've never seen anything like this in all of my days. And I'm a whole grown person. And it's great to see that we have folks behind the scenes working hard and, making sure that this information is out there. Thank you so much to Cheryl. Cheryl says she shared the video with her on her page. This is amazing. Shay Deanda says, great information. Indeed it is. Thank you so much, Jose. This is awesome information. I feel, like I said, very, very reassured about, how the system is set up. And Jane Sandoval says, hey, Nikki and AARP, California. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Jose, you've been, eye-opening and refreshing for us today. Once again, aarp.org/CA votes for top line information about voting in California in the 2020 election. And don't forget, this is a series. So don't forget to join us next Monday, same place, same time for our fourth and final interview of the series. Now, if you've been with us the whole time, KBLX Nation, you already know that every time we have one of these, number one, we connect with a great celebrity. And number two, we get information we didn't even know about. So life-changing, life-shifting, informative, everything. So put it on your calendar, put a reminder in your phone. I don't know about you guys, but I can't remember anything unless I put a little calendar thing in my phone that pops up like an hour before. Oh yeah, I said I was going to do this. So help yourself along and meet us here next Monday for our next session. Who's our famous person going to be next week? And our AARP California president, Patricia Perez, the day before Election Day, talking about last minute voting information and getting out the vote. Oh, man, it's so close. It's so close.
8 days away.
Man, wow. Your vote, your voice, our fight, presented by AARP California. Thank you so much, Jose Posadas, for joining us today, keeping us informed and keeping us inspired to vote. And thank you, KBLX Nation, for being with us this evening. Y'all have a great rest of your day.